Right there is a bunch of raw chicken wings. Here we have a litter of ravenous, hungry 7-week-old Lycan Shepherd puppies, F2s in the process. And this is going to be a pup bong video. Lobo over there, he's eating some of his food. He's being fed. The other dogs are in the house eating right now. Had a lot of high winds today, so it's blowing down all the leaves from my big oak tree. Again, these puppies have progressed to eating whole chicken wings without having to smash or dice them. We've been training them for the last week and a half or so to chew their food properly, and because these are large advanced puppies, they've shown by eating whole chicken backs that they're now old enough to start working on wings. Again, we feed them large pieces of food like this to teach them to chew their food properly. That can be a problem with some dogs, especially dogs that are on a kibble diet that are then transitioned over to a raw diet. They often haven't been taught to properly chew their food. This helps do that. You know, kibble takes really very little effort for them to chew and digest. They just give it a couple crunches and swallow it. And that's how they become accustomed to eating everything. Chewing is the first stage of digestion, and so it is important when you are feeding them raw food that they are chewing it up enough into bite-sized pieces. If they don't, you can have a couple of issues. One, they'll regurgitate and throw the food up because, again, it's too big to be digested, and that's the good thing. The bad thing is it could move farther down the G-tract and become an obstruction. Now, raw bones are perfectly safe for your dogs. It's cooked bones that are dangerous. And again, that's raw bones that are chewed properly I'm talking about. Cooking the bone changes the consistency of the bone. It makes it indigestible and prone to causing both perforations and obstructions of the bowel. When you cook the bone, it becomes a lot harder and more brittle. You know, raw chicken, fish, and that those bones are actually pretty soft and pliant when they're raw compared to when they're cooked. That right there is Puko, one of my keepers. That's your guys' pup, Spencer. They're going to be picking him up on Sunday. I know you two are going to love him. You don't have to worry about raw food bacteria with dogs. 36% of dogs carry salmonella as a natural part of their gut flora. Now, don't just take my word for this stuff. I'm just some guy on YouTube. I have provided several vet links in the video description that back up all of what I'm saying. I am a former animal warden. You know, I did so for almost 2 decades. I've been involved with breeding, training, and rescuing dogs in my adult life for over 3 decades. I'm 52. So I do have a lot of experience, but you know, again, I don't pass myself off as any kind of expert. I'm just showing you what I do and explaining why I do it, and you can decide on your own whether it has any merit or not. I'm not interested on if you disagree with what I'm doing. Again, I've had a lot of experience doing this. I'm pretty set in my ways. but I am sharing what I'm doing just in case there are some other people out there who might be interested in giving this a try themselves. And again, all those resources I provided in the video description should answer any questions you have regarding that. That's why I provide them. I've seen nothing but spectacular results feeding raw for a little over 20 years. And I'm pretty passionate about spreading the word regarding it. There's a very good documentary on Netflix and also Amazon Prime called Pet Fooled. I'll just show you some of the garbage that's in commercial pet food. This is the way they are biologically intended to eat. And as a matter of fact, I've linked a couple books in the video description by a veterinarian, Ian Billinghurst, who's the creator of the BARF diet, which stands for Biologically Appropriate Raw Foods. I highly recommend his books. Give your dog a bone and grow your pups with bones. Now again, as I discussed in my videos, I like to handle my puppies when they're eating. You get a little growling there. But this is going to teach them not to be food aggressive. As I say, like a broken record in all my videos, as a former animal warden, I can't stress how important that is. You know, I used to deal with biting dogs, you know, for a living and their victims, and I've seen a lot of children who've been badly hurt in situations that could have been avoided with a little bit of forethought and training. Now those who will say, well, you know, you're just rewarding a growling puppy. Well, no, you're misunderstanding what's happening here. When you do have a puppy protesting and you continue to pet them, you're not rewarding them. They're not finding any joy in that. They want you to cut it out. You're subtly asserting your dominance and telling them that whether they like it or not, they're going to have to tolerate it and put up with it. You know, the worst thing you could do is to smack the puppy and take away its food. You're just reinforcing that the puppy has a reason for you to fear putting your hand by it. I have a whole play series on puppy food aggression. One of the videos, over 1 million views. And it shows from beginning to end the training process of doing this and why I do it. You'll notice I've got some healing tattoos on the back of my hand. I got those a little over a week ago. And you can see, even from my last video that I posted, how much better these guys are doing. This is your pup, Amy. She's going to be getting him on Friday. You and Gary are going to love him. But again, these puppies are being taught that to be desensitized to human touch while they're eating, so they don't view people as competition for their food, and therefore there's no need for them to be aggressive and doing resource guarding with it. These guys were digging a hole over there, so some of them got some mud on them. You'll see that. These guys get into everything now. This has been the funnest litter I think I've ever had. Super advanced. It's hard to believe they're only 7 weeks. Again, I wouldn't be feeding normal puppies whole chicken wings like this for another several weeks, but these guys are all, you can see, chewing with their back molars and powering through and chewing that bone up adequately. And that's what you want to see. You know, you can see they're all chewing with those back teeth and going through that and having no problem. I hate this time of year, August and September, because of the bees and the flies. If you have some old garden hose you want to throw away, you can cut it up into strips and tie some knots in it. They make great puppy toys. They love them. And it's a good way to recycle. That's what you see with the hoses there. Again, you see these puppies chewing with their back teeth and gnawing through this stuff. It's a little K-bar. I love this pup. Actually, I take that back. Where is that? Not take back that I love the pup. I'm talking to myself about something else. And there's little Puko, my other keeper. Cicada are singing. I love the sound of this cicada. You just want to use a really calming energy. Animals feed off your energy. The calmer and more relaxed you are when you deal with them, the more they're going to reciprocate and return that. Again, here you see him chewing with his back teeth and effectively grinding up that bone. And that's what this really shows, the benefit of what I've been doing over the last week and a half. These guys know how to properly chew these things up now. And you can hear he's breaking up that bone and chewing through it. Again, that shows the benefits of this. Bone is a very important part of the canine diet. That's why bone meal is added to commercial dog foods. If you feed your dog just meat without the bone, you will give it loose stools because it screws up the calcium to phosphorus ratios. That's a big mistake that people often make when they start feeding raw, is they don't feed enough bone, or they don't feed bone at all, and then their dogs get diarrhea and they blame it on the raw food, when no, you're just not giving them the bone that they need. So I always recommend, if you're going to feed chicken, to feed chicken wings, necks and backs, or whole chicken leg quarters. You'll find that drummies and chicken thighs by themselves, and also breasts, have too much meat and not enough bone. And so if you feed them a lot of those pieces, you might end up with some loose stools if you don't add something else to the diet. Well, I think this video has gotten pretty long. I've made my point. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell down below, and you'll get email notifications when my new videos come out. I wish Tammy could have been here with us today for filming, but she's at work. That's all. Bye. Bye for Mr. Lobo also, who's done eating and currently destroying several toys. My dogs all live in the house. He's just separated from the puppies for feeding purposes.